Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Snarkbait. I'm Christy, and we have a very special guest with us today. We have Rachel, our social manager, on the mic with us. Sophie is on vacation. Rachel, how are you doing this morning?
I'm great. I am so excited to be joining you this week. It feels like perfect timing since we're both Swifties and we both watch Love Island. We just have so much to talk about.
This is the perfect opportunity for you to be on mic today. We were just saying off mic how Sophie doesn't watch Love Island, and Sophie definitely follows Taylor Swift and like the wedding. I mean, who isn't at this point? But Rachel and I are huge Swifties, like to the max. So I'm excited to kind of share this recap of Taylor's wedding because I feel like that's the headline on everyone's mind right now. Um, and I wanted to just provide a quick update in programming. So tomorrow on the Patreon, if you guys are patrons, Olivia and Sophie are going to be talking about their hot takes this week. And then on Thursday, we're going to do a normal What's the Snark episode. Olivia subbing in for me this week. Yeah, because I was out of office due to a family issue. So appreciate you guys being flexible with our change in programming this week, but we will deliver fire episodes for you guys as usual. So Rachel, let's get right into it. How was your 4th of July weekend? You were having a ball.
I was down at the shore. I'm from Philly, so we always go down to the Jersey Shore for holidays like this. I was with my friends, and we were having a great time. But honestly, like as fun as it was, mentally I was at MSG, and like I couldn't stop refreshing and going on Reddit and going on Instagram and TikTok, and I sound so insane because I should be living in the moment, but this was such a huge weekend for me, which sounds so dramatic, but it was so exciting just to see everyone like popping up in their outfits and like knowing that it was all happening. But other than that, obviously that was the most exciting part of my weekend. It was great. It was just nice to be with friends and at the beach. But what about yourself?
Yeah, my mom always has a family party for us because in her townhome right in front of it, there's fireworks that go off. So like we are literally under the fireworks every year. So it's always all of my cousins on my mom's side coming into town. A lot of them live like throughout California. Some of them live in New York City. So they all flew in to be with us. And it was super nice to be with my family. And like I just love getting together with all of my cousins. Like something about growing up in and around similar ages as your cousins, it's like so special. So I always love getting together with them. A couple of them have babies. So we were hanging out with the babies and we take like an annual walk to the lake by my mom's house. So it was just like a very wholesome week. And then I also like grilled with my two friends, Sarah and Mike, earlier that day. So it was just like a great, wholesome weekend. But interestingly enough, what I've been seeing a lot on the news is Newport, not Newport, Rhode Island, Newport, California. It was absolute chaos in Newport this weekend.
Oh my
So
God.
if you guys are unfamiliar, like there are certain destinations that people in California go to during certain holidays. So like for instance, when I was in college for Halloween, a lot of students, not even UC Santa Barbara students, just like students in and around California would go to Santa Barbara for Floatopia or for Halloween, and they would crowd the streets, and it was just a complete mess. For 4th of July, a lot of people go to Newport. And like when I was in college and stuff, and like even after college, when I was like in my early 20s, I would go and like tear it up in Newport. But I guess this specific year, there were 200 plus cops in and around the Newport Peninsula in Balboa because there was like thousands of people like flooding, and they ransacked the pavilions in the peninsula right across the street from Palmia. There was absolute chaos. People were like blowing up fireworks on the beach. People raided the pavilions. It was completely trashed in the parking lot. Like, and apparently it was some teen takeover. It was like all these
Oh my
teenagers
God.
from around Newport, like not even from Newport, just like in and around the Southern California area, came to Newport and like caused absolute destruction. And just like for anyone who does that, just like get a life. Let's just
Yeah.
relax. Okay. Let's not destruct and like vandalize places.
Oh my God. I mean, I would have loved to have been a teenager in that area. I think it was Sophie who mentioned this once. Like, I want to be like a California teenager having a bonfire on the beach in high school. I would just be doing that. Like, I wouldn't be causing any chaos or any destruction.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know. That's so funny. Growing up, we used to do bonfires all the time in like
I'm so
Huntington,
jealous.
like CDM. But yeah, it's so funny to hear you guys talk about like living on the East Coast. But you guys had like, I don't know, East Coast life to me is like so, it's like Gilmore Girls-esque. I don't know. Like that's also very desirable to me.
In Pennsylvania, it's you don't need to romanticize it. but you
That's
know, very different. I mean, like, we went
yeah.
to the movie theaters. I don't even know what we did.
No, I know. We would go to the mall too. Go to the mall, go to the movie theaters. Okay, well, let's get into the hottest topic of the week, Taylor Swift's wedding. So, okay, I guess like top line thoughts, and I'm very curious, Rachel, what you have to
Yeah.
say. But I think couple things. There was a press release that was right after they apparently got married, and it was like a 2-paragraph blurb. You guys have all read it by now. I don't need to read it. But I thought it was interesting that Taylor nor Travis had bridesmaids or groomsmen, and Austin Swift served as Taylor's man of honor. Jason Kelsey was Travis's best man, and it was officiated by Adam Sandler. And just have to say, like, being in my 30s, this is a hot take, and I'm sorry for anyone that has participated in this. I'm not trying to offend you. Having like a 12-person wedding party at our big age is so tacky to me. Like, I think it's so fabulous that Taylor ended up doing just like her brother and Travis's brother in their wedding party, and that's it. Like, not to like toot my own horn, but I feel like I have a lot of friends from various walks of life, and I have like many girlfriends. Me and my 20 girlfriends. I know you don't watch Real Housewives of New York, but that's Ramona.
But
I have
I
a
love
lot of
that
girlfriends,
quote.
but like, I wouldn't have a big wedding party. What are your thoughts on this?
I completely agree. I mean, I think it was the best way that she could have gone about it. I mean, they had 1,000 guests, so clearly they, between the two of them, know a ton of people. And we can get into that more later because there were obviously some random people there and people that I'm like, I just don't understand how you like personally know them. Hence maybe it's more of like a business thing, for optics. But, I think that, you know, out of that 1,000 people, there are a lot of people she's close with from different parts of her life or different aspects of her life that it would be kind of impossible to have a wedding party truly with everyone that you would want in it. So I think it was the right avenue. And also I think it's chic as well.
It's so chic. And I was also thinking, obviously, with the wedding party, you have to do a bunch of stuff before and after, like take photos, get ready with the bride. Like,
Right.
she doesn't need to do all that stuff. She has an entire entourage to take care of
Yeah.
everything. Like, usually the reason you have bridesmaids is because they can, like, help you with a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But Taylor, she doesn't need any help because she has all the help in the world at her beck and call every single day of her life. So her wedding should be no different. And to your point, the wedding was humongous, 1,000 people plus. And to me, it kind of reminded me of Jeff Bezos' wedding in Venice, like a couple years back, where you're kind of inviting every single person you know, people you don't even know who are A-list at the A-list, cream of the crop, the best in their industry. And to me, it almost felt like as big or bigger. Well, I mean, I think people-wise, bigger than the Grammys or any other awards show. Those
Yeah.
award shows are typically very small, but I feel like they definitely, when it comes to the ceremony, it didn't seem like, I mean, whether there was or was not a ceremony at MSG, we don't know yet, at least as of Monday at 6 a.m., July 6th, Pacific. But to me, it just felt like more of a reception at MSG.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you think she had a ceremony?
I think that we'll probably be on the same page about this, but I think there was obviously something before MSG that was more private. And I know, like, maybe I need to stop, like, feeding into, like, the Taylor Swift that I think I know because obviously I don't know her. But, like, to me, like, she would want, like, a very, like, cute and like aesthetic and it's not that I think she wants privacy because clearly I don't think that that's a big concern for her. Obviously safety and security at MSG, but like
Yes.
privacy is not of the utmost concern. But I do feel like she would do something smaller with just like the closest people as far as like a ceremony goes. But who knows? I like feel like I never would have guessed MSG for her, so I don't really know what she wants or what she would do.
Yeah, because I remember when the headline came out that they were getting married at MSG, everyone thought that was a ruse. But then
Yeah.
of course, I know you saw this picture as well, and it's been floating around the internet, a picture of her and Travis walking down the aisle. I still don't know whether or not that is AI.
Yeah, I'm like the worst person at figuring that stuff out. Like I have no idea.
Me either. And I was talking about it with in my group chat with like Shannon, Kelly, and Emily, all podcasters, and we were all like, wait, is that we couldn't figure it out. And they're very much on the pulse as well. But speaking of your point about having the wedding at MSG, People Magazine's the last name is Triggs. She spoke about like kind of people being shocked by this venue when in fact it's not that shocking at all. So she said, quote, I think for most people this seems like the weirdest choice in the world, but for her this is spot on. It has total security. Also keep in mind she's very familiar with it. She's performed there multiple times. And I think to your point, at this point, she cannot be private. It's literally impossible for her to be
Yeah.
private. But at the end of the day, like she does need to keep her safety and security at the top of her mind. And what better way to do that than to have it at MSG? So I think that probably is the exact reason why she chose that specific venue over, say, like a castle in Europe or like that castle in New Jersey that she filmed Blank Space in. Like we all think that that's what she would have wanted. But I think at this point in her life, at her stardom, I mean, she literally is the Madonna, Michael Jackson, Britney Spears of our generation. Some would argue, I don't know if she's as big as Michael Jackson. That's debatable. I think she's pretty freaking close. But she is just so freaking big that this is a true safety concern. Like, who knows what could have happened if she had it in a public arena.
Right. Like she had to be realistic about what was doable at this level of fame. So I think that's fair, completely. But yeah, I don't know. I never would have guessed it, but a lot of elements do make sense to me, like it being on the 4th of July and so many lyrics. Like everyone's been playing Endgame of like after the storm, something was born on the 4th of July. And I think that's one of the main things I love about being a Swiftie is I love the Easter eggs and I love the things that like can take so long to make sense. But then once it like all comes together, it's like she's so clever. And whether or not that was intentional, I believe it was because she thinks about everything. But I had a great time, like I said, following along. And like you said, it, bigger than something like the Grammys, but it felt like an event like that when everyone was spotted and photographed in New York. And then just seeing all of the completely random people coming, in my opinion. And I think you listed a lot of them out.
Okay.
In our doc.
So I went to People Magazine. It was like A to Z people that you know and don't even know that attended this wedding. So I put a couple people on it. I'm curious if you have other people that aren't on my list. So these are the random people I was like, that's so random. Like, why and how does she know them? So Alex Morgan, the female soccer player, Ashanti and Nelly, which like I get it, they're in the music industry, but still like random. I didn't know that she was friends with them.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt. Okay, he was a huge controversial figure at that wedding, and we will get into that, along with a couple other very, very controversial people. The Chainsmokers, question mark, like, what?
Like, why?
Why? Cindy Crawford, Hugh Grant, Jason Sudeikis, J-Lo, Jessica Alba, Jessica Chastain. A quick notable mention, obviously her and Kelsey Ballerini have been friends for years, but thank God Taylor probably told her, just whatever you do, don't bring Chase Stokes.
No, that's so funny. I'm so glad she didn't as well.
Like, I would have thrown myself out the window if Chase Stokes
What
were there,
business
genuinely.
does he have being there?
No.
None. Stay far away.
No, like, please. She probably instructed him. And Kelsey, you can come as long as you don't bring your weird date boyfriend, which I believe they're back together, which pisses me the fuck off. But neither here nor there. Liam Hemsworth, that was really weird. And also, it's like her and Miley have been friends through like the early Disney days. And like, because when you're 15, remember that weird duet they did at that award ceremony?
I don't, but now I need to look it up after. I'm sure I've seen it, but...
Oh, it's both of them performing 15.
That's so funny. It's weird that he was there, for sure. Like, I've never seen that. Like,
yeah, me either. Well, I guess that Liam is dating Maddie Healy's ex-girlfriend. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, I had no idea either. But
a deep dive.
Maybe she was like, there's that.
I was going to say, didn't Taylor Swift write a song for the movie that Liam and Miley are in? But I don't think it was that movie. It was, it's whatever song it is, it's crazier, but I think it's just Miley Cyrus in that movie.
Yes.
Love that song, though.
Yes. You make me crazier.
So good.
MGK, which is like interesting because he's very, very close with the Kardashians, but like, okay, love that for her, I guess. Pete Wentz, question mark. Phoebe Jennifer.
They did a duet together, though.
Did they?
I believe so. It's one of the, now I need to fact check myself after this, but on the vault songs on Speak Now. Oh my God, sorry, that took me forever to get out.
Wait, Pete Wentz. Okay, I just
Electric Touch?
Oh,
Isn't he in that?
no, wait. No, you're right, right. Yes, you're wait, that's 100% correct.
I love that song.
Yeah, that is a good song. Steven Spielberg, which random, but again, that Steven Spielberg being there gives it Jeff Bezos' Venice wedding to Lauren
Yeah.
Sanchez.
Yeah.
Like,
And also, like, I
okay.
read somewhere, I don't know if I, like, just read this one place somewhere, but, like, if she wanted to, because, like, what is left for, not that saying that in a negative way, but she's done everything. Obviously, she'll continue to re-release music, and we should talk about, like, speculation for TS13, but, I could see her getting into, like, something like directing, or and I have, like, nothing to base that off of besides the fact that I feel like she just wants to grow and grow and grow and do more. So I saw someone make note of that, like, a lot of these people could have been, like, business type invites of, like, just
Wait,
getting in their sphere.
I don't know about you guys, but with summer officially here, I am on the move more than ever. If you're looking for some footwear that can move with you rather than slow you down and give you pesky blisters, hate those, look no further than Vionic shoes. From sneakers to more elevated styles like ballet flats, all Vionic shoes are made with BioMotion technology, specifically engineered to keep you comfortable all day long. I got the Alameda Mary Jane flats in navy suede, and they're so cute. They're the cutest little Mary Jane ballet flats and perfect for those days when I have a million errands to run or want to walk Baxter or I have a long commute to work, but want to wear something cuter than my usual sneakers. I throw them on with a sundress, and that's pretty much going to be my uniform all summer long. I can schlep all over the city in them, and as a New Yorker, that's all I can ask for in a shoe. Bionic also offers a 30-day guarantee. Wear them and love them, or return for a full refund within 30 days. Try them out. I promise you won't be disappointed. Use code SNARK at checkout for 15% off your entire order at www.vionicshoes.com when you log into your account. One-time use only. Bionic shoes. Wearable well-being for your feet.
I'm so glad you're bringing that up because before the wedding even happened, there was a lot of speculation and rumors online that what if this isn't even a wedding at all? And what if she's announcing a record label? Did you hear that? And Sombra was her first artist that she was signing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they have all the pictures together randomly.
Yes.
But I didn't see him at the wedding.
No, he was. I think he,
Okay,
wait,
he
hold
was.
on.
Okay.
Let me, because I know Sombra,
I'm sure he
Taylor,
was.
Swift. Sombra brings romantic. Yeah. Okay, he was there.
Okay.
But yeah, like I feel like, well, let's get into that TS13 because I have heard that. Well, we all know that Andrea, her mother, invited a lot of country music executives to her home in Nashville like a couple weeks prior to the wedding, and people were saying, "What if Taylor is debuting for TS13, a country album? Is this specific event on July 3rd not actually a wedding? Is it her releasing a record label?" So to your point, her inviting all these industry executives could point to that. But it ended up not being that, of course. But what do you make of TS13? Like, do you think it's coming? What's the genre? Do you think it's country?
I'm always so delusional because it's like I want it to be here and I want her to release another album, so I will always believe that it's happening, unfortunately. But it makes so much sense because I believe that this fall is the 20-year anniversary of debut. So I think it came out in 2006. I should probably check this, but it's my
October
understanding of it is.
2006, October 24, 2006.
So it would be a perfect moment for her to either re-release Debut, which I would be perfectly happy with as long as we got vault songs. I love Debut and I love a lot of the songs on there, and I want I'd Lie is one of my favorites, and I want her to release that. But I'd also be so happy with like a full circle moment, like 20 years later, a new country album that obviously will feel more mature and more of a reflection of herself now and the experiences she's gone through. Obviously, she was 16 when she wrote Debut, so there's very limited experiences to pull from for that album.
Right.
But I'm excited regardless. I think a lot of things make sense leading up to that, being like her song for Toy Story 5 has obviously a bit more of her like early roots feel to it. And it's so cute. And I feel like the styling for that release was very reminiscent of Debut. So I could see her building up to something in the fall. And I think it'd be, and I don't just say this because I want it, smart to do it now and then like take a break. Not that I'm giving her career advice, but I don't want her to take a break ever, but I would understand it obviously in marital bliss. And, who knows if she wants to start a family. Obviously we don't know these details, but I think it'd be great to do TS13 and then maybe step away for a little.
Yeah, I would absolutely love a country album, not a re-release of Debut. I love Debut, but it's definitely, like, not one of my favorites.
Right.
There are some bangers in there, but I love Tied Together with a Smile. Oh my gosh,
So
it's, like,
good.
so sad and so good. But, I think if she were to release a country album in her 30s with folklore and TTPD level writing, and
Mhm.
people are gonna come for us, Rachel and I are the biggest TTPD apologist defenders. That is, to me, her best album.
It shocks me genuinely when people don't like it.
No, no, no,
Like,
it's
I don't
really
understand.
no, I don't understand either, like, the level of trash out, but, like, the 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 depth of her lyrics on that album, people often, nod to Folklore and Evermore as being her best songwriting. I think TTPD is equally as good.
I agree. I like him more than Folklore and Evermore, and
Me
I'm
too.
not afraid to admit it.
No,
But
me
I
too.
like Folklore. I really like too, and Evermore I like. If I had to rank them, but I think the Tortured Poets Department is her best work,
Same.
and people snark on the fact that there's 31 songs. Good. I liked every single
Add
one.
30 more.
Yeah, let's
No.
double it.
No, 100%. I agree. I think it's, like, real Swifties know that, like, I think because she was on top of the world during the Eras Tour when that album was released, she didn't care. She was like, "I don't care if I sound
Yeah.
insane about a guy that I was dating for 3 years, but that I was pining over for over a decade. Like, I'm gonna release this." And I loved her transparency and just, like, throwing everything to the wall and just, like, "I hate it here" is genuinely devastating. Like, and
know.
you just have to really hear the lyrics and understand, but it genuinely is my favorite album, maybe of all time.
So good. Same. No, it's incredible. And I love like analyzing. And my theory, and this always changes, is that almost every song is about Maddie Healy, obviously.
Mhm.
I think there are 2 about Joe, So Long London and How Did It End, I think. But
Mhm.
that's just my opinion. And then obviously 2 about Travis being so high school and The Alchemy.
The Alchemy.
Which is one of my favorites.
I completely agree. I think LOML, people think it's about Joe. My sister and I fight about this all the time because my sister's a huge Swiftie. I think LOML is about Maddie Healy.
Me too. And I thought it was about Joe at first. And I
Yeah.
wanted it to be about Joe because I'm a Joe and Taylor apologist. But
Yeah.
I think it's about Maddie Healy.
No, me too. I think that was the loss of her life, and she
Yeah.
knew it was over with Joe long before it actually was over.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, let's actually talk about people who weren't there. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. So we had been speculating for a very long time. Are they or are they not friends? And when she released Canceled on The Life of a Showgirl, I was like, okay, well, maybe they are friends. Like, I was very confused, but no matter what, we weren't getting any validation. And to me, I was like, well, maybe it's like a Kylie Jenner, Jordan Wood situation where
Right.
they're friends BTS, but she's just not publicly wanting to be seen with Blake because Blake has horrible PR right now and just no one likes her. But now we know for sure they are no longer in a good place. Kelly Teller also not present at the wedding, which we did a whole Kelly Teller episode a couple weeks back. It was like probably a month ago, 2 months ago. So you guys can go and listen if you want to hear more about Taylor and Kelly's relationship. But there was a source that told Page Six of the decision for Taylor to not invite Blake and Ryan to the wedding, who, by the way, Taylor is also the godparents to Blake and Ryan's children, but they said, quote, Taylor's in a different place now and she just wants to be around people she trusts and who bring her peace. And to me, it makes so much sense why Taylor decided to cut the cord when it comes to Blake, because Taylor is the biggest star on the planet right now. And I feel like her biggest fear is being used for her star power. And I feel like she thought that Blake was someone in her circle that would never use her star power against her for financial gain, for clout, and that's everything that Blake Lively did behind her back. So I get why Taylor didn't invite her.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like similarly with Kelly, like she also used Taylor for clout, but was just way like more obvious about it.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Blake at least was very famous, not nearly Taylor Swift famous at, as the years have gone on, but, very famous in her own right and like had established herself. So it was probably more shocking that Blake would do something like that. And I'm sure Taylor, keeps a lot of very, very famous people in her corner for many reasons, but one of them being that they understand what it's like to like the guards you have to have up, the paranoia that you have, like befriending, dating, anything like that. Like anyone could use you. And a lot of people probably have those intentions when they're, in the circle of someone that famous. But someone like Blake, maybe she felt, and Ryan Reynolds, obviously very famous, felt more comfortable with them because they're already so established themselves and would have those same fears that she has.
Yeah.
But clearly not. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, and I guess, like, Blake and Ryan were in Lake Placid in upstate New York, watching their daughter Betty compete in a horse show. I don't know. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, fortunately or unfortunately for them, whether or not you like her or not, I always found her to be, like, the behavior on the ends with this lawsuit to be very disturbing, honestly. And
Yeah.
I understand and completely stand with Taylor in her decision to not invite her. I love that you mentioned Diana Agron not being there. I didn't even think about that, Rachel.
I love Diana Agron, and maybe she was there and we just haven't seen anything, obviously, but I have not seen a single thing. She's not posted on Instagram to my knowledge. I checked earlier, but nothing was on her feed. And I feel like, I mean, if anyone saw her there, if she posted anything, if she was spotted, that would have been posted somewhere on Reddit, on TikTok. People would have made it a big deal because obviously they haven't been spotted together in so long. And to my knowledge, Taylor did not go to Diana's wedding, however many years ago. So I try not to, like, feed in too much to, like, the rumors of, like, whether it's woman or a man, just, like, the speculation of people Taylor's dated, because there's so many people that she has dated and it's, whether you think it's PR or not, it's publicized. So the ones that, like, aren't, I try not to speculate too much on, but I love her and Diana Agron. Whether it was a relationship or just a friendship, I think they're so fantastic, and I just love Diana. So I was sad she wasn't there, but I just don't think they're friends anymore.
No, I completely agree. And yeah, the Gaylor of it all, the Gaylor Swift, I feel like the followers are definitely let down because they're like, okay, our lore is officially over. She's now wed to a man, not a woman. But I mean, and then you juxtapose the Diana Agron not being there to the Karlie Kloss of it all being there. I think a lot of people were very shocked by Karlie Kloss being there because, as far as we know, their most recent interaction publicly was when Karlie, and correct me if I'm wrong, you or other Swifties listening, but Karlie did attend the Eras tour and everyone was shocked. Remember, everyone's like, wait, everyone, stop what you're doing. Karlie Kloss is at the Eras tour. This is crazy. They haven't been spotted together in years and now they're good. And now she's at the wedding. So that tells me something maybe really severe happened between her and Diana Agron, because if she's been able to mend the fence with Karlie and out Diana, something must have went down.
Right. I was shocked when Karlie was there because it's one thing, like, and I remember when it came out, and I'm pretty sure that is, I'm fairly certain that's the last time they were spotted, quote unquote, together, was at her Eras tour. And that surprised me, but, like, not really in the sense that, like, anyone can go to the Eras tour. And, well, except for me, because I didn't get to go. But everyone
You didn't go to the Eras tour?
No, I sat outside of it in Philly, but it was just so expensive for, like, the worst seats ever, and
Yeah.
no one in my life got pre-sale. So, but I sat outside, and it was still a great experience with my friends. But yeah, everyone
Dude, you're a
gets to
true
go.
Swiftie that you set outside. Like, that's true Swiftie shit.
It was fun. You could still hear very well. Took a bottle of wine. The only other thing I'll say about Karlie Kloss is that she was wearing a gold dress, which, like, we can all read into things. I think it's a
what's
little
that
bit
about?
interesting. Well, like, it's highly speculated that Gold Rush is about Karlie Kloss by Gaylor conspiracists. Like, I don't think there's anything, like, directly so evident that it is about Karlie Kloss, but that song, like, the one line that's like, our coastal town has never seen a love as pure as this, something like that. I think a lot of Gaylors will think of Karlie and Taylor's trip to Big Sur or wherever it was, like that infamous trip and photo shoot and such. So they'll tie that. And there's, like, other things that people have pointed out. I love dissecting her songs and figuring out who they're about. That's, like, not one of my favorite ones to do because I don't think there's that much. I think Wonderland is definitely about Diana Agron.
1,000,000%.
But again, I don't want to speculate, but there's so many ties to it that, like, to me, that one is, at least there's more of an argument there. But yeah, I think it's interesting that Karlie Kloss showed up and in gold nonetheless.
Wow, I had no idea that Gold Rush was about Karlie Kloss. That was one of my favorite songs on Evermore. It's on Evermore. Yeah.
Yes.
Was obsessed with that song. Okay, people were very upset about Brad Pitt being there, and I had to, like, read the police report about what happened with Brad Pitt. I'm just going to read one section of the police report about his behavior to Angelina Jolie and their children on a private plane, which is, how scary is that you're being terrorized by your father or in Angelina's case, your husband, and you have no way out, like in a
It's
private plane.
terrifying.
Terrifying. So, trigger warning, we're going to talk about it really fast. So, as documented in a lengthy and detailed FBI report, Pitt's aggressive behavior started even before the family got to the airport, with Pitt having a confrontation with one of the children. After the flight took off, Jolie approached Pitt and asked him what was wrong. Pitt accused her of being too deferential to the children and verbally attacked her. An hour and a half later, Pitt abruptly walked over to Jolie, demanding, "Come here," and directed her to get to the back of the plane. He pulled her into the bathroom and began yelling at her. Pitt grabbed Jolie by the head, shook her, and then grabbed her shoulders and shook her again before pushing her into the bathroom wall. Pitt then punched the ceiling of the plane numerous times, prompting Jolie to leave the bathroom. As she exited, one of the children asked, "Are you okay, Mommy?" Pitt yelled back, "No, Mommy's not okay," and started deriding Jolie with insults. When one of the children verbally defended Jolie, Pitt lunged at his own child, and Jolie grabbed him from behind to stop him. To get Jolie off his back, Pitt threw himself backwards into the airplane seat, injuring Jolie's back and elbow. The children rushed in and all bravely tried to protect her and each other. Before it was over, Pitt choked one of the children and struck another in the face. Some of the children pleaded with Pitt to stop. They were all frightened. Many were crying. Basically, it goes on to say that once the plane landed, Pitt was arguing with the children. He wasn't allowing them to deplane. Just like an absolute terror. And I think Brad Pitt is one of those celebrities who will never be canceled. Interestingly enough, I was just scrolling Reddit and there was like this Ask Reddit. On the Ask Reddit subreddit, people asked, what's a celebrity that will never be canceled? And so many people were saying Chris Brown and Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt has this A-list name recognition. He'll always be like the dreamiest, hunky, celebrity when in fact he's an absolute monster. And I feel like you juxtapose that with, say, I'm just throwing this out there, like Ashton Kutcher, who I think has been scorned, rightfully so, and people don't really want to hear from neither him nor Mila Kunis ever again. But Brad Pitt, for whatever reason, has this like staying power that people just choose to ignore. And I think Taylor Swift is obviously no different, having invited him. And then to me, I'm like, how do they even know one another? Do they have any relation? What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was shocked that he was invited, and just rereading this that you put into the doc too, like forgot a lot of the details. And I mean, and that just speaks to like how he's like quote unquote uncancelable. I'm like, how did I forget how terrible this was? Obviously, like not intentionally, but yeah, I guess, it's something with like, I mean, I'm sure it comes down to PR teams, and
Yes.
I'm sure he has an impeccable PR team, because something like this would cancel really any other celebrity, rightfully so. So yeah, I don't see the connection between her and Brad Pitt, nor would I, like, there's so many people like that.
Yeah.
And I get that we're not in these celebrities' lives, and maybe she does know him, but then also, like, what does that really say about her if she's friends with him? Or maybe it's connected through Travis, but like how? So
Yeah, it's one of those things where people are saying it's the company you keep. And
yeah.
to your point, like, okay, is it even worse if you know him? Okay, like, I guess what's worse, that she knows him and she's friendly with him and they're in the same circles, or that she doesn't know him and she has no problem with the abuse that he's he's granted towards all of his children and to Angelina. I don't know what's more disturbing. Like, what's worse? You're friends with a crazy person, or you're not friends but you don't care about it and you decide to invite them to your wedding. And
like either way, you're dismissing it, kind of.
Exactly. And how is this really any different than like Ashton and Mila writing that character witness statement to the judge, basically saying he is a great father and friend, when in fact Danny Masterson is, let's call it what it is, a rapist.
Yeah.
He's terrifying. If you've read the police reports, it's not, I mean, rape is like the worst sin besides murder, but it's like you're standing up for this absolute monster. How is this really it's not much different, I should say. And we would be remiss to not bring up the executive chair of one of the ICE detention centers based in El Paso, Texas, also being invited. And there was a lot of questions as to like, I saw a lot of people like dispelling these rumors, saying, no, you've got the wrong Stephen Dimitro. Stephen Dimitro is actually an Ohio Republican state rep, and his father. So sorry. People were saying, no, the Stephen Dimitro that you're thinking of was not invited, this ICE detention center chair. It's actually his son. But no, I've read by some tweet by Here's Why Kevin saying, no, both of them were actually present. Both son, who is Ohio Republican state rep, and the father, who's a executive chair at this place called Emetem Services, which is a company responsible for operating Camp East Montana, which is an ICE detention facility in El Paso, Texas. And I was reading a little bit about this, and essentially, this company called Emetem State Services received a sole source contract to manage the detention center, overseeing housing, transport, and medical care for detainees. And there are some questions as to like, how does Taylor or Travis know this specific individual? And the source states that Stephen Dimitro has personal ties to the groom. He's adoptive father of basketball player Reggie King, one of Kelsey's close childhood friends, which could offer a possible explanation for why he was even at the wedding to begin with. But people have a lot of problems with this, not only because obviously he's an executive chair at this specific detention facility, but also as if that's any, that's already bad in and of itself. But since the facility opened, at least 3 detainees have died while they've been in custody at the specific detention center. One of the deaths involved a 55-year-old Cuban national Geraldo Lunes Campos, and his death was ruled a homicide by the El Paso County Medical Examiner, although Department of Homeland Security officials have described his death as a result of an attempted suicide. So whatever it may be, just dark shit that has happened at a specific detention center. And there's also been operational failings at the specific center where it opened without perimeter security cameras. Outdoor recreational areas were not allowed on the premises. And just like it wasn't a suitable place for detainees to be held. So this is just really disturbing. I think we can all agree. Whether or not it sounds like there is some childhood connection, familial connection with Travis Kelce, but all in all, just not a good look.
No. And that something I guess I can add of like another thing that I saw a lot of people kind of talking about on social media, and I obviously side-eyed. It was the White House making posts about her wedding and the Eras tour, and just like the weird ass Eras edit of Donald Trump, and the edit of like saying something along the lines of like Trump is your president on the like MSG billboards. And obviously we know Taylor's not gonna like go on her Instagram story and like address this or denounce it on Twitter. Like that's not who she is anymore. Like that's not the type of celebrity. She doesn't do that anymore. But something that I saw someone on Reddit talking about is like we see all of these articles coming out about how Blake and Ryan were invited and kind of doing this like PR cover up, painting Taylor as great and Blake and Ryan as not. And again, I say this loving Taylor, but like needing to like understand her flaws or just like understand like the method behind a lot of this. And it's not, always super sincere or like genuine. There's obviously a lot of PR going on behind the scenes. But they're able to kind of denounce Blake and Ryan, which rightfully so maybe, but not the stuff that our president is doing.
Wait, that's actually such a good point, Rachel, that I didn't even think of. You're so right. As I was just scrolling my feed this weekend, I kept thinking there's a lot of bad PR for Blake and Ryan. And it keeps saying a source tells us that they didn't want Taylor Swift Taylor Swift didn't want Blake to be invited. It's like we all know the source is coming from Team Taylor, whether that's Tree Payne or someone in that camp.
Right.
Taylor is going out of her way to make sure we all know her and Blake are no longer close. Right. But then you have the ICE Detention Center executive chair, Stephen Dimitro, in attendance, and you're not going to dispel that. Or when Donald Trump is using your Eras tour merchandise to like for his own agenda, you're not willing to denounce that. Yeah. And I'm thinking of, for instance, Ariana Grande or Olivia Rodrigo, where the White House used their songs for some kind of campaign on social media. And both those two denounced it publicly and said, don't fucking use my songs for your weird presidential White House campaign or whatever it may be. And wherever you stand on politics, it's like, I think it is a very good point that Taylor is willing to denounce Blake, but not the ICE detention center specifically.
And like I said, like I don't, in a perfect world, she would like get on her Instagram story or put something out to her followers. But like that obviously isn't anything that she really does anymore. But do it through a source, like your team should be addressing this, I think.
Yeah.
But
I completely agree. And I think at this point, what would she even say? Because it sounds like this man, Stephen Dimitro, let's call him senior because it sounds like the son who's this Ohio rep was also there. But it's causing a lot of confusion amongst people. No, he wasn't there. No, he was there. It sounds like he was there. What would you even say? How would you even clap back? There is no...
You're correct, yeah.
Yeah, there is no response to it other than like, Okay, so we'll file that away. And like, listen, me and Rachel are Swifties, but we can also kind of have an opinion on what we deem to be right or wrong. So that's kind of all I will say about that. But it's a little bit disheartening for sure.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Anything else on the wedding?
I feel like we covered so much. I mean, if we want to do on a lighter note, the like just TNT married. I don't even know how to say it because it was such a weird, obviously for AT&T, but like the sign.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm just like dumb, I think, because I kept reading it and I was like, I don't get this.
I don't get
Oh,
it either.
I get it.
Like
And I was
it
like,
took
it's
me a
so
while.
cringe. It's cringe and
Yeah.
tacky, but that's kind of Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It is quintessentially her, so, like, go for it, but, yeah, it wasn't, like for someone who is such a lyrical genius and everything makes sense and things are clever, I'm like, that obviously she didn't come up with it, but, like, that was, like, not clever because I didn't understand what it was at first.
No, I didn't either. I was like, okay, but everyone's like, oh my God, she's so like tacky. I'm like, yeah, she's always been like this. And I
Yeah,
kind of like that she's leaning into it. Like that to me, when I saw that all over like MSG, I'm like, that's so funny to me.
yeah,
Like, I have to love her for being
yep.
cringy as hell. Um, okay, really quickly, I just want to touch on Alix Earle and Stassie Baby's newfound friendship. Have you been following the Alix Earle of it all and like her over 4th of July weekend?
Not really, honestly. I was preoccupied, with MSG, but I should, and I did do a little research after I saw your notes in the doc, and I also saw your TikTok about Alix, Nina, and Braxton, which obviously is a whole other thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know that much about their relationship or their
Yeah.
friendship.
So last month, Alix Earle and Stassie Baby were vacationing at Monaco, I think, for the F1. Um, what do you call? I don't know, sports F1 competition. There was rumors that Alix might have been with Lando Norris, or no, Stassie Baby was actually with Lando Norris. Whatever it was, they were on an Aloe Brand trip on a yacht, partying with all these F1 medalists, and they ended up like traveling even more together. They extended their trip, and now Stassie Baby and Alix Earle are in the summer house in the Hamptons. So it's clear that the summer house cast is no longer filming at their original house that they've been filming in the last like 4 or 5 years. And they're just like partying it up. And they both attended the white party together. And it was notable that none of the Kardashians, as far as I knew, I heard rumors that like Kim and Khloe were there, but then other people were like, no, Kim and Khloe were not actually at the white party. Whatever it may be, Alix Earle and Stassie Baby 100% went together. I did a TikTok on Alix confronting Nina Dobrev for allegedly hooking up with Braxton. And we at Snarkbait team had heard about this rumor back in March, and I posted that receipt to my Instagram at Christy Noel __, and it kind of like has done pretty well. But we heard about this back in like March 23rd, where this came across our desk, and now it seems as if it's come across Alix Earle's desk, and she knows that Nina and Braxton did in fact hook up just 2 months after Alix and Nina had spent time together on New Year's Eve in that St. Bart's trip, which was like super, super dark energy. But sorry, I'm going in so many different directions, but I think one, Alix Earle and Stassie Baby are now besties, and it seems like Stassie Baby and Kylie like haven't been spending a lot of time together. I know Stassie Baby was at Kylie's Turks and Caicos, Kylie Cosmetics like brand trip with like Carter and like Victoria and all of that, but they haven't really been seen together since. And people are theorizing on the internet that Kylie and Stassie Baby are beefing, which is like, very interesting. 2, is this a recession indicator that the Kardashians weren't at Michael Rubin's white party? Like, what's that about? And 3, well, we all knew about Alix Earle and Nina and Braxton, and I think Nina's shady as shit for doing that. Sorry, a bunch of stuff. Any thoughts on that, Rachel?
I mean, my main like top of mind thought is like I don't think Braxton Berrios is that cute. So you should never do that to a friend. But like, who knows how close Nina and Alix are? Obviously, like I mean, I looked up their ages, and not that people in different age groups can't be friends, but like they have a really wide age gap. So like, how much do they actually have in common? Outside of going on boats and
Yeah.
being famous. But obviously, so you, like would never do that to a friend, but don't know the degree of their friendship. But like why Braxton too? Like I don't think he's attractive at all.
No,
Or
I don't
and
either.
he doesn't really have any good attributes. So I don't really like all this like fighting for him. But obviously so shady. And I think Nina just like moves weirdly. And it's hard for me because I like her and I like the Vampire Diaries back in the day and I wanna really like her. but there's something like she's just kind of like, I think she tries really hard to stay relevant. And that sounds like a little silly because I know she's maintained fame for a long time, but it doesn't really seem like she's done anything huge since the Vampire Diaries that I can remember. So
Her finances make no sense. And I think
Yeah,
that's why people often side-eye her because they're like, are the yachting allegations in fact true? Because
Right.
Hayden Panettiere even said in her memoir that she was partying with a girl and her lifestyle made no sense when you look at her
Mhm.
body of work, and people are theorizing she was talking about Nina Dobrev. I also think Nina Dobrev is just stunning. I've liked her since the Degrassi era. If you know,
Yes.
you know.
Of course I
I've
watched
liked her.
Degrassi.
Yeah. I've liked her since then. I didn't watch TVD, but I've heard it's like a very nice comfort watch, and maybe I'll pick that up if I need something. Like I need like something Pretty Little Liars-esque, like a cozy thriller. Kind of like
Harper's
Widow's
Island.
Bay. What?
I've told you this, Harper's Island. You
Harper's,
need
yeah.
to watch it.
Yes. So I was on Reddit and someone was asking, like, what's a new thriller I can watch that's similar to Widow's Bay? And some people were saying Harper's Island.
It's so good. I mean, it's obviously not new, but it might as well be because it's the best show ever. But
Yeah.
I'm glad I
Rachel
could
always
plug
tells
that
me.
really quickly because no one's seen it. And if anyone listening has seen it, I would love to talk to you about it because I feel like I'm the only person that's ever seen it.
No, I love it. I love it. Okay. We are running out of time, but I do want to talk about Halley Kate's wedding because I don't follow Halley Kate. And we've done a Halley Kate and Jazz episode in a What's the Snark, I think like probably 6-7 months ago. But Rachel is notorious. Like she helped us write that document because she is a Halley Kate apologist, whether you like that or not. So I'm curious what your thoughts were on her wedding and most notably the hat that she wore to the wedding.
Yeah. So as Christy said, I like Halley Kate. I don't, she is out of touch and she has had, I personally think, too many cosmetic procedures done and like things she didn't need to do. So there's definitely snark-worthy things to say about her. But overall, as a person, I personally find her to be one of the more like real / relatable / genuine New York City influencers, and I really don't like love a lot of them. So I do actually really like Halley Kate. Um, I think it's funny that she was so adamant on like this isn't a real wedding. This isn't a real wedding. It kind of was. Like I get like there wasn't a big ceremony with everyone, but in for the purposes of what it was, like I think it was very similar to a wedding. And I think that and I saw people talking about this on Reddit as well, my only news source. A big reason why she's probably like keeps saying it's not a wedding and downplaying it, like maybe has to do with the fact that her and Reed, she'd been disappointed by Reed before. Obviously, this is all speculation, but we do know for a fact that he broke up with her all those years ago. And maybe like even subconsciously, she doesn't even realize that that's making her feel like she, doesn't want to expect a lot or doesn't want to have a big thing. But also, it's perfectly normal to not want a big wedding. I just feel like she did have a big wedding. So it's interesting to hear her talk about how she didn't want one and she's not like that and she's never dreamed of one. And then I'll move on to her dress too, just for the sake of time. But I didn't like it. Like it's not my style, but I appreciate that like she takes risks with the dress and the hat.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was wild. Like honestly, it was not what I was expecting. But like then I thought about it a little bit more, and she's always been someone I've never really thought she has great style, but I think that she leans into what she likes, and it's a very like personal style, and she takes risks. So it was true to herself in that way. Like she went to school for fashion, I believe, and has always the first videos I ever saw of her were her when she was in high school. And this was like years after she was in high school, reflecting on the outfits she wore in high school. And she was the girl that would wear stilettos to like 11th grade English class. Like, it's like, so I'm like, this actually makes perfect sense. So
she's over the top. And I think that she leans into it. And like, it's her and it's camp and So I can
100%.
appreciate her kind of being unapologetic about it.
Me too. I did not like Acquired Styles dress.
I am dying, Rachel. Acquireds look like a rave fit. 100%. No, like what is that?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was only a ceremony with like family, and I think she's having. I could be wrong. I was trying to figure this out, but like I don't think it was like her actual wedding with like friends, or like it was like the ceremony, but not like the reception or I'm 27. I'm nowhere near getting married, so I don't even know what to call these things. But I think she's
It
having a
does,
bigger
though.
celebration after the fact. But yeah, I don't like the dress.
Yeah, I think that people were being so mean about Halley Kate's hat, and I feel like the dress and the hat together was a bit much. I know
Mhm.
nothing about fashion, guys, so I'm not purporting to, like, know anything about anything, but just from a very objective lens, I'm like, "Whoa, that's just, like, a lot of stuff," and I feel like with weddings, those pictures are going to last a lifetime, so I think
Mhm.
if it were me, I would try to make my look be as timeless as possible, like,
Yeah.
even with, like, makeup and stuff, like, there's certain wedding photos that I look at of, like, people's, and I'm like, "Oh, that's such, like, a 2016, like, look with, like, the
Yeah.
highlighter and the cut crease or whatever," and you wanna make sure, like, your makeup and your, looks timeless as well, so I think when that pertains to maybe the dress, this just looks like a lot, and so I'd imagine when she gets older, she may regret this, but maybe she won't, like, maybe this is just exactly what
Mhm.
what she's wanted. But the acquired. Oh, I need to talk about the bran flakes though, because do you like bran flakes? I feel like no.
No.
Wait, why? I seriously am such an apologist. I'm like, he doesn't bother me.
No. I obviously he's from Philly. I think he just moved to LA, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He's from Philly. The first like impression I ever really had of him was my friend, boots on the ground, said he was really, really rude to her at the bar. So I already had that bad taste in my mouth.
Oh, ew. Okay.
I could go more into it, but I just find him to be really performative, and a lot of the TikToks just like rub me the wrong way. So it's purely a personal thing. So I understand because I meet a lot of people that really like him, and I think that like it's nice that like he can be a little bit more raw or real about certain things. And I know a lot of people like that he's very like transparent about what money he makes from social media, which is great in itself. But there's something like how you guys really dislike Jake Shane. And I don't love Jake Shane, but I don't hate him. And I don't hate Brand Flakes, but I find Brand Flakes to be more dark energy than Jake Shane.
No, that's completely fair. I think that there's something about men and female dominated spaces that gives
Yeah.
incredibly dark energy, whether you're straight, gay, whatever. It's like this is a girly pop space.
Mhm.
But something about Jake Shane, I think that the reason why he bothers me is because I'm self-aware enough to know he has the life that I want. Okay. He's out
Right.
on red carpets, he's out interviewing celebrities, he's friends with all of them. Like, listen, I know when I see it, like that's a very enviable lifestyle that I would like to be a
Yeah.
part of. I will never be a part of that space, and I am jealous, and I am willing to say that. With Bran Flakes, I think I get a little bit more troubled by his behavior because he's constantly like talking about his panic and
Yeah.
generalized anxiety disorder. And I love that he's so open about it, but it's also like alcohol also really, really aggravates those symptoms. So
Right.
maybe relax on the drinking a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I'm like, I think it's also, I'm like, if I hear Halley Kate core one more fucking time, like, please, it's enough.
Please.
But spare me. But obviously,
Yeah.
I have my own personal opinions, and a lot of people disagree with me. I know a lot of people like Brand Flakes. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I like that he just uplifts, like, small businesses owned by, like,
yeah.
POC, so I'm like, "Oh, that's cool."
Right.
Like, love that. Okay, let's get into LEO. I'm literally dying at all of your DEOs. Okay, so let's start with the LEOs. I had to go to the Apple Store this weekend, and I got there early, and my store's location opened at 10 AM, and I was there at, like, 9:55, so I was just waiting for them to open their doors, and the second that, like, 9:59 hit, they opened the doors, and all of the Apple employees started to clap. It was so cute, and then I, like, asked one of
Love
the
that.
employees, like, "Oh, like, do you guys do this, like, every day?" He's like, "Yeah, every day."
Because it is that serious. Like, I
Yeah.
love, like, when you have to get your phone fixed, when you need something, your laptop fixed, when you need something new, like, it is that serious. And
Yes.
I have,
Yes.
they're always so nice at the Apple Store.
So
And
nice,
I don't
and
know
you
a
know
damn thing about
No, me
phones,
too, and they're
so
always you're right. The morale that they have at the store locations, like, give all those people a raise. They're always so helpful, so
yeah.
nice, so patient, and it was so cute. When I got a new laptop a couple months ago, they were transferring, like, the cloud from one laptop to the other, whatever, and one of the employees that was helping me was also helping this, like, older Asian woman. She could not really speak English, but she thought her device she basically he was able to retrieve all of her photos again from the iCloud, and she started to sob, and she was like, I thought I lost all these photos. And he goes, you're so smart, you backed them up on the cloud. And like she hugged him, and it was just so sweet. And like these Apple employees are so sweet. I love them.
So I'll go into my LEO, which is the love of my life, Nick Robinson. I forgot for a little how in love I was with him, but we're back. Have you seen the movie he's in, Voicemails for Isabel?
Of course, I was sobbing. I was
Oh,
watching
it's so
it this
good.
weekend. It's
And
really,
I love
really good.
Zoe Deutsch. I was so sad to hear that allegedly she is not a pleasure to work with. Obviously not by Nick Robinson. They seem very good friends, but from other sources. So that was disappointing because I love her. But
Me too.
I have loved Nick Robinson since Love, Simon, and I've loved him in everything since. And he just is like the definition of boyfriend. Like they don't make them like him often. Like he is a Nate Archibald, a Chase Crawford when he was specifically Nate Archibald type boyfriend level. Someone that
What
just
else is
feels
he
like
in?
your boyfriend.
What else is he in?
Nick Robinson.
Yeah,
He's
besides
in A
Voicemail.
Teacher. If you remember that show, obviously tough watch. With
About
Kate
the
Mara, is that her name?
yeah. Oh, I didn't know he was in that.
He's the student. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
Interesting.
tough watch. He is in Maid with Margaret Qualley, and he plays like such a mean, abusive. I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't want to like misconstrue what it was about. But from my recollection, character which is so opposite of what he normally plays. That was a great show. And more stuff, but I don't really know. I can't
Wow.
really think of
For some
anything
reason, I thought this was his like debut.
else. You're like, oh my god,
I was like, oh,
a
he's pretty
hidden
good.
gem. Yeah, you're like,
I was
brava, like first time. Yeah, no,
Okay.
he's not like huge though, but I have loved him since like 2018. I just forgot for a little bit.
He doesn't really do it for me, but like my best friend ML was telling me the same thing. She's like, oh, he's so cute. I'm like, oh, he's cute, but like I don't know, like I found his character. I love the movie, but I found his character in Voicemails to Isabel to be a little bit creepy.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like there is like a lot of whenever I finish any type of media, straight to Reddit, gotta see what other people think.
Yeah.
And I obviously agree with a lot of it. There's a lot of discourse about how like that is like really, really intrusive, weird, stalkerish,
Yes.
manipulative behavior.
Yes.
Which are all correct. But
Yes.
I love Nick in person.
No, he's cute. I get why people think he's cute. He doesn't do it for me, but I get it.
Fair.
Okay, let's move on to DEOs. My DEOs is food scented beauty products. Someone put on the Sephora subreddit a glow recipe, like that brand banana milk kit. It's like a moisturizer and like a balm enough with the food scented products. Like your skincare should not smell like anything. Like I don't know. I don't like that. It gives cheap to me. Like I just want it to help my skin. I don't need it to smell like anything.
Yeah, there's like something like banana milk. No, thank you.
What's that? Like,
I'm good.
and you know, I love Glow Recipe because I think it's a Korean, like an Asian owned skincare brand. Like we love that for them. But like,
Right.
not everything needs to taste or smell like something. And it kind of reminds me of Jessica Simpson's dessert line back in the day when she had like that weird body cream that you could like eat.
Ew, she would.
Like that's so gross. And it's also kind of like
Yeah.
that's very hypersexualized. Like I don't like that.
Oh yeah, that is really weird. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't have any recollection of it.
Oh yeah, no, it was well before your time. Me and my best friend Sarah were talking about LimeWire, you guys, and we look at Rachel. We go, "Do you know what LimeWire is?" She goes, "Never heard of it." And do you know how old I felt because we were like, "Oh, LimeWire's gonna give your computer SARS," and Rachel was laughing. We're like, "Rachel, you don't know what that is." She's like, "You're right, I don't."
I understand the negative connotation or like that would be a bad thing to happen.
No,
And I've heard LimeWire. I don't know what it is.
She also didn't know, you guys. Sorry not to call you out. She also didn't know what MTV Cribs was. I was like, oh my God.
I've heard of it again, but wasn't watching.
No, Sophie, you guys were in diapers when this came out. Rachel's like, dude, I'm not that young. Like, why do you keep saying that?
I was born in 1999, so
oh my God, yeah,
90s
no.
kid.
Like, do you know who Mary Kate and Ashley are? Like, I need to know now. Like,
Love them.
genuinely, because I had asked my friend Maria, who is 22, I was like, just curious if the schools are teaching what I hope they're teaching. Do you know who Mary Kate and Ashley are? She's like, yeah, why? I'm like, thank God. The curriculum is still intact.
Yeah. That is so funny.
What's your DEO?
My DEO, I have two, actually. That video of Joe and Sarah Pigeon, Joe Alwyn and Sarah Pigeon.
Wait, what were they doing?
Did you see them making out in, like, this tall grass? It's
Yes.
very alarming. I figured you would have seen it. I'm like,
Yes.
and Shannon from Fluently Forward, I was watching her TikTok on it, and she describes Sarah as wagging her tail, and it's, like, unfortunately spot on. Like, that's actually what she's doing. It's very weird. And
Yeah.
I just find it, like, you know, people can change their tune on things. So maybe Joe wanted privacy, and now he realizes to be a celebrity, you can't just hide away and then get roles and pay the bills. Like, it's just not realistic in this day and age of social media. But I just find it so odd how, like, him and Sarah are so PDA versus with Taylor Swift. Like,
It's weird.
absolutely not. I like Sarah Pigeon a lot. I like Joe Alwyn. I really like him and Taylor together. I know I have to let that go. Like, she is married, and I am very happy for my friend.
Yeah.
But there is something about Joe and Taylor I always really liked. And I think maybe they just, like, I thought they made sense together, but that's also very parasocial of me. But it's a little hard to see him move on. So.
No, me too. I 100% agree with you, by the way. It is very, very difficult to see him move on and be so PDA with someone that isn't Taylor,
Yeah.
because he was so specific about not wanting to be seen
Yeah.
at all. Not even like, remember that one fucking sighting of them when it was like Bigfoot, where they were like hiking? And I was like, oh, wow. Like,
Yes.
we never saw them together. And it
Yeah.
was like disappointing. Like, I get you don't want a PDA, but you don't even want to do like a walk with her. It just felt so, I don't know. I'm with you. It felt insidious.
Yeah, it's weird. And the video is just weird. But
Yeah.
to each their own. And then my other DEO is, I saw someone, like, make a TikTok about this a while ago, and it's, like, stuck with me. And this is something that, like, genuinely pisses me off. When someone is, like, telling a story where they're, like, complaining or, like, sharing their side of the story or something they're frustrated by, and you try to relate to them, and then they go, no, it's not even that. Or, like,
No,
you try and bring something up, and like, well, fuck me then. Like, I'm sorry that I'm trying to be a supportive friend, but
That's so
all right.
cool.
It just
No,
feels
it's
like I
what?
feel like you're calling me stupid. Like,
No, it's so patronizing.
it is.
It's like, I'm just trying to relate to you. Like, I would never say that to someone, because it's like, even if I don't necessarily agree that their experience aligns with mine, I wouldn't specifically call it out, because I'm not out here trying to embarrass people.
No, it's not even that. Like,
Like,
okay,
well,
then what is it?
yeah, no, that's so rude, and I would never say that to them. Honestly, like, I go out of my way to not embarrass people. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
sometimes, one time, I have this distinct memory of me and all my friends. We were taking a walk in college, and we walked past this Braille Institute by my home. And one of my friends, Matt, bless his heart, he's like, huh, a Braille Institute. Now, what is that? And I didn't say anything, because I was like, I don't want to embarrass him. And then one of my friends was like, what did you just say? Like, she was like, I'm so embarrassed that you just said that. And he, like, I could tell he's embarrassed. And I'm like, I would have just let it be, you know?
Right. No, like, sometimes, like, I can't handle, like, hurting someone's feelings. Sometimes I be relating just to make them feel like
Well,
not embarrassed. And then you hit me with the no, it's not even that. Well, I'm done trying then.
no, that is like, I feel that so deeply within my heart. It's just like, I don't want to speak up ever again.
Yeah, like, I'm just not going to talk then. But yep.
No, that's so funny and relatable. I know so many people can relate to that specific instance. Rachel, we are so happy to have you on Dark Energy Tuesday. You guys, if you follow us on Instagram at SnarkBaitPod, Rachel is responsible for making our Instagram reel just like killer. Like, you're so good at what you do. She's so smart, and you really are that. You really are that girl. Like, you're so funny. You're just like the best. I'm obsessed with you. I'm so happy you were able to stop in for Sophie. I know she's super grateful. Sophie is living her best life in a tropical destination in Curacao, just like spending good old time with HOPD, husband of HOTP, husband of the pod. And we're so thankful for you for coming on today. Any other closing thoughts, Rachel?
No, just that I am so grateful that I could join you today. I had so much fun talking about my favorite thing ever, Taylor Swift. So it was just perfect timing, stars aligned. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow for an episode of Patreon with Olivia and Sophie. Again, for What's the Snark on Thursday. Follow us. We have Substack every Friday, Patreon, bonus episodes every Wednesday, ad-free episodes Tuesday, Thursdays as well over on Patreon. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.